This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. Ding, 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 ding. And Doctor themed birthday parties where urine samples are aplenty.
A flowing.
This is sports stuff. Still catches me by surprise, and I don't know how long we've been doing this.
Whenever I sort of yell or
Yeah, I'm like, every time spooks me.
I mean, it is spooky season, Jim.
It is spooky season.
spooky to me when you talk about your children taking urine samples to school.
Buddy, now you're going to cause a whole thing. They were Jello for her birthday that was doctor themed.
So your kid took Jello shots to school.
Those are your words. I said it was
Bites you in the
Jello.
butt.
Today is Tuesday, October 8th, and not only is there a wild party in the Compton household, Diddy style, it was a wild weekend.
There was no Diddy style parties at my fucking house.
Yeah, that could go a long way.
It was a wild weekend in college football. With that, we have separated some of the contenders from the pretenders. For now, I think at this point, who knows with the new playoff system? I don't even know.
Right. We know.
So the teams that lost this weekend may still be contenders because as long as they get in the playoff, they have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we'll also get into the NFL and give you our college football winners and losers from the week. In the week that will be, Alex and I are going to be headed to Morgantown, not for a doctor-themed birthday party that we're aware of, not for a Diddy party, also that we're aware of.
Who knows where you end up?
We will be at the Coal Rush game in Morgantown as WU takes on Iowa State in prime time college football action. Woo! Alex, what are you doing to mentally, physically, and emotionally prepare for this game?
So, right now, WVU has 2 losses. They're 3-2. They're their two out of conference games to undefeated teams. So what I am trying to do right now is,
oh my god,
tamper my hopes that we go on a little run and have a good Big 12 record at the end. Because if we beat Iowa State, I'm gonna get my hopes up. And as a WU fan, I just have been through so much hurt, but I want the excitement. I want it. But my heart, how many times do I put my heart through this? Probably several more.
You're young enough.
I'm not ready to speculate. So let's just move past this for now.
No, we're not gonna move past it.
You sure?
This could be.
He does whatever comes out of his mouth is on you, Alex. You're not making him push past it.
This could be a long drive home Saturday night because it appears as though at this point Alex and I will be one of us will be driving home, and I'm going to assume it's going to be me, and that Alex is going to have the opportunity to do what Alex needs to do.
Why drive home? Just get hammered and stay.
We may not have the same opportunities we've had over the past few weeks.
Well, then you need to meet a lady friend.
One lady friend for us both. Never mind.
Jim wants the Diddy party. He's got it on. He's got it in his mind.
You could also share one.
Well, the stadium does sit right outside a parking lot to a hospital, so maybe you can find a doctor-themed party.
Yeah. Wait. Where's the urine sample Jello shots? What?
But it's close to Halloween.
Break room. Get out.
You might find sexy nurses too at the doctor theme party.
True.
Or just at the hospital.
And let's be honest, Alex got a better shot than Muff anyway. Alex will at least shoot his shot.
Depending on the amount of alcohol Alex is drinking, that's absolutely true.
Right.
Flash his badge and be like, I'm a PA.
I notice you're a doctor. I'm a doctor too.
I'm not a doctor, just to clarify. Again, no stolen
valor.
valor.
They don't know. This is a podcast.
I just want no stolen valor type situation coming out of my mouth.
That's it. Alex, big question for me. Is my blue WU jersey okay for this game, or do I need to get a black or gray WU t-shirt?
think you'll be okay with your jersey. I'll probably wear. I have a black WVU hoodie. That will likely be the one that I wear.
Are you guys trying to match or what?
It's
Yeah,
the
what is
It's the
this? This is
Coal
like
Rush
the
It's
game.
the
fashion.
Coal Rush game. I feel like I should. If it's like almost like the black.
You could
or
do like
gray out.
black. Do you have a WVU hat other than your train
No.
conductor hat?
No, that's the only view had.
Oh. I was gonna say you could wear like just a black shirt and a WVU hat. I will say, based on our conversation last week when we talked about ordering Coal Rush jersey, there was a caveat on the site as soon as you opened it that this will not be there in time,
Yeah.
but that they plan to wear them again, like at some point.
All right.
So, but
We'll
yeah,
see.
I think you can get away with either. We'll see. Fill it out.
I'll have to do some research on
Yeah.
what I can get.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody that's interacting with us on social media. Make sure you can catch us on YouTube at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bone.
Ding ding.
And during football season, don't forget our weekly betting episodes that drop on Thursdays to get you ready to increase that bank account throughout the entirety of your weekend and to get to Monday morning, Tuesday morning, if you're betting Monday night football with a little bit extra sitting in that FanDuel
FanDuel.
account.
Excuse me.
Oh, we have a question.
Oh,
in
Lord.
the gallery.
I'm a little offended that you're trying to order something for this game when you have someone at your disposal to just make you something.
You can't make a Cole jersey that's officially licensed from WVU, bud.
I could make a shirt that says something similar.
Why would you want to say that?
Go to hell.
Was this a shameless plug?
Just get a black shirt and make it say
Said Cole jersey.
Company. Harper and Company.
Can you just make a shirt that says my jersey didn't come in time?
This is my Coal Rush jersey.
This is my Coal Rush jersey.
So what are you gonna go to Gabe's and find like some knockoff jersey, pull all the patches off, and then put something over top of it?
No, I'd probably just get you a t-shirt and put something on it.
See, only if you can do the jersey situation am I even considering this.
I would but the problem is that I'd have to order a jersey.
Guess
like,
what? Your problem is that the customer's always right.
Mm. Tell him. Tell him.
that is my motto.
And that in this case is me, and that's what I want.
Okay, well, sorry.
Well, then why'd you interrupt?
Because I didn't know that you needed a jersey. I thought you'd be open to a t-shirt.
If you'd
or
have
a
listened to the
sweatshirt.
episodes, been a supportive wife of your husband, you'd have known where we were at.
I was eating my tacos. Okay.
Before we get into our NFL,
Shut up, Alex. I know where your brain
I wasn't gonna, and then I made eye contact with Jim.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
It's made virtual eye contact and still.
Oh, I
have
made
dirty
eye
minds.
contact with him too. We both went, oh.
She's a doggo.
Have we all seen that Chad Ochocinco and James Harrison have agreed to an MMA fight before the Super Bowl this year?
Ocho Cinco is going to get his ass kicked.
Yeah, if he gets hands laid on him, he might die.
There answers the question that I had. Who do we have winning?
James Harrison.
Certainly not Ocho Cinco.
Definitely not. All right, let's get into NFL Week 5. Before we do that, the NFLPA put out a statement regarding the locker room media policy last week. And I quote, "The NFL's current media policy is outdated. We, the NFLPA Executive Committee, urge the NFL to make immediate changes to foster a more respectful and safer workplace for all players. In the meantime, we encourage each player to ask for interviews outside the locker room during the week."
Is that so they don't see like their underwear?
I don't know if underwear's the issue. I think it's what's the underwear is protecting, Alex.
Well, yeah, but like I was trying to see, and I was trying to keep it PC and not talk about any private parts for once.
Should we be worried that Jim disappeared on this? No.
No, we think he's probably
He's going to take.
Take care of the birthday party.
No, he's going to take some shots.
I think there's some corporal punishment going on in the Compton household. Not really. CPS, not really. That was a joke.
Further on, it was quoted, the players feel that locker room interviews invade their privacy and are uncomfortable. This isn't about limiting media access, but about respecting players' privacy and dignity. What has happened in the past this season that's making this a thing? Has anything happened that we're
That's
aware
what
of?
I'm wondering. Like, I haven't heard any like or seen anything like nefarious happen. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, the worst not the worst, but I would say the most controversial thing I saw was David Njoku in some tights doing an interview, but I don't think that's anything new.
And if it was him doing his own interview, that's on him, not like
Well, and it wasn't in the locker room either.
Right, it was outside the locker room, so I don't know if that's it. Jim, are you aware of any football player parts becoming an issue this year where the NFLPA had to put out this statement about interviews, privacy, respecting players' dignity?
No, but I mean, it's about time. Like, there have been slip ups of the tidbits coming out. They're
I'm like
coming
less
real
worried on.
close.
Sorry. I'm honestly less worried about like the tidbits coming out, and I would not want like I feel like that's like the one space in the stadium where the player can get away. And like if I'm talking to someone, you know what I mean? I'd be more worried about that. Like, am I like not constantly thinking like, oh, I'm like on live TV, I'm on live
Oh,
TV.
that's fair. Yeah.
But like I'm less concerned if you see like my butt than
I mean,
like
nobody wants to see a dick and balls during an interview.
I might watch more football if we got to see that.
We stand corrected.
Fair.
There is an audience.
It's
I do not know how I feel about this.
wives of people.
Dang, guys, take a joke.
I
But
took
are
it.
you though?
I didn't take it, just to clarify. I just the joke.
We are going down a bad path.
Is this a Swifty situation? Is this what they want?
Oh Lord.
I mean, if
The Swifties want more dick and balls? Is that where we're going?
No, apparently
It's a question.
I don't even want to get down that rabbit hole.
Well, we've got a lot of rabbit holes we're about to go down, starting with Thursday night football as the Buccaneers took on the Falcons, and the Falcons take this one 36-30 in overtime. Nate, your breakdown is
But the Bucks defense is softer than baby shit.
Okay.
that's what we got. Kirk Cousins 500 plus yards.
Yeah,
You guys
because
want to talk about that.
Yeah, because we play 10 yards off at the corner and just let them get every route they want. And apparently we can't cover anything over the middle.
So if you give them space on the edge and you can't cover everything in the middle, that's a lot of the field that's open, huh?
Yeah, it's basically like watching some 7-on-7 all night long.
All right. How are you feeling about the Bucks' chances moving forward and head coach Todd Bowles, Nate?
I've never been a Todd Bowles fan. Even whenever he gives interviews, he kind of just like sits there nonchalantly. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got to play today." Blah blah blah. Like you never see him get fired up about anything. Like he seems like he's just too laid back, and I don't know if he's always like that, but like you see his interactions on the sideline, you see him give interviews, and it's just very mellow. Like Bruce Arians, like he would call your shit out and like, get in your face and get you fired up. I don't feel like Bowles is that guy.
I just was thinking about something that my dad said about Neil Brown this weekend, and I need someone to ask me what he said whenever we get to like WVU review time.
Try to remember this. All right, other thoughts on the Bucks Falcons game?
Honestly, Atlanta should have won this game in overtime if Young Ho Koo makes a field goal.
That's true.
I'm a
That's true.
closet Kirk Cousins fan, so I was actually excited for him.
Ooh. Moving into Sunday morning football in London town. We had an uncharacteristic outcome for Aaron Rodgers, who had 3 interceptions, one that was a pick six, and the difference as the Vikings continue their undefeated season with Sam Darnold at the helm, beating the Jets 23-17. Sunday morning football.
The
Yeah.
social media said that Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Is this
He
true?
did. I was just gonna bring this up. So like there was this super dramatic play where like his knee did get kind of twisted, but he does this like And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like, and based on his face and the way he grabbed his knee and just like the play itself, I was like, "This is not good." Like that might have been Aaron Rodgers' last play, and then he got up and just walked away like nothing happened. So I'm not really sure if it was one of those scary things, like my leg bent the wrong way, and oh my god, it's broke, and like, oh wait, nope, nope, I can move it. We're good. All right, we're good. It was very weird.
Okay.
They did have the emergency quarterback activated, I guess, because he was complaining of some knee soreness going into it. So I don't know if it was just like an aggravation of an already sore knee, and maybe it hurt, but it wasn't like injured.
Oh, I think this could be the tail end. I think we're done.
This is fitting your narrative. I get that, and it may very well be true. We'll find out, I guess, in the coming weeks. Any lingering effects. This was also a game that Aaron Rodgers threw like 50 some passes, which is also not normal for him. So the running game that was supposed to be a little bit better for the Jets with Brees Hall is just in the pooper.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I took Brees Hall pretty early in my fantasy football drafts, and he has been a disappointment.
So moving on to the Sunday afternoon game, starting with the Bears, who easily take care of the Panthers 36-10. Just when we thought the Panthers may have found something with the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton at the helm, this game happens where they do next to nothing, and Andy Dalton has an awful game, whereas Caleb Williams, another strong outing as he continues to improve each week. I think that's the most important thing for Bears fans is that Caleb Williams is improving every week.
I think we kind of talked about this early on. Like, does he just get used to playing in the NFL and actually turn into a decent quarterback? And right now, I think that's what we're seeing.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that he's hitting his stride. I think eventually they're going to have to let him loose a little bit. Like, yes, you've learned how to be a pocket QB. Like, they're going to have to design things around him. Maybe not this year, but maybe they're going to have to build the team around his actual talents.
But I also think he could just be a good pocket QB.
I don't think that's his style though.
Right.
But he's doing it okay.
Yeah, but I think that we're square peg round holing it.
That's fair. I mean, it's, hey, 5 weeks in, and like I said, I think the biggest thing for these fans is that they're seeing improvement, and maybe we'll get to that point where he gets a little bit more comfortable getting outside the pocket, going off schedule, and doing stuff like that. So maybe in the weeks to come, we'll see more. In an overtime game, we have the Ravens beating the Bengals 41-38. Laces in, laces out, laces down, laces up. The Bengals were a holder away from catching the ball of winning this game.
Wah, wah, wah.
Bungles bungled.
Yeah, I
Bum.
think that's the thing now. I think again, and we'll come up to it when we get to the Browns. I think ownership and egos are hurting the Bengals.
Yeah, now I'm just wondering like what's gonna happen next after you play so well and you end up losing like this. Like, does it like fire you up to keep going, or are they just gonna self implode because they're what 1-4?
Yeah, I think we're hitting critical mass in Cincinnati.
Indeed we are. For the Ravens, this obviously helps improve their situation. They're 3-2 and tied with the Steelers atop the AFC North, and Derrick Henry eclipsed some marks as now he has 10,000 career yards and 100 career touchdowns.
Can we go
So,
back? We're still in the Bengals, right?
yes, Bengals Ravens.
They have New York, the Giants. They have Cleveland. They run into Philly. Then Vegas and Baltimore. So like their schedule is leaning towards like, hey, let's get our head out of our asses. So like there's still some hope, but like let them lose to the Giants or Cleveland. Out and like I think it's time to wrap it up, boys.
We're going to retire Joe Burrow to a Versace store for the rest of the season.
I think time to rethink the wheel.
With Derrick Henry eclipsing those marks without 10,000 career yards and 100 career touchdowns, is he a surefire Hall of Famer? Alex?
Yeah.
Nate?
Numbers, yes, but he still needs to do more in the playoffs.
Jim?
Yeah, I'm with Nate.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame. No questions asked at this point. A bigger question for the state of running backs in the NFL, are we ever going to see stats like this again from a running back in our lifetimes?
Not the way the NFL's played today.
I was just gonna say that if the game wasn't changing so much, possibly.
Uh, yeah, I think we could see it again. I'm not going to rule that out.
All right. Next, Dolphins 15, the Patriots 10.
Okay, and next.
Patriots captain and safety Burrell Peppers was arrested Saturday early morning and faces charges including strangulation and drug possession. Expected to be charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, strangulation, and possession of a Class B substance believed to be cocaine.
Cocaine's a powerful drug.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's his career, right? Like, see you later.
If true, and these allegations come to be adjudicated, then yes, I would say career over.
Yeah.
Yep. Browns Commanders, the Commanders
Bum, 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 bum.
take this one 34-13. Jalen Daniels, another strong showing, and is getting not only buzz about Rookie of the Year, but maybe MVP chance. Do we believe those are supported, warranted, and something that could come to be for the rookie quarterback?
Rookie of the Year, yes. MVP, let's pump the brakes. Again, we're through week 5.
Yeah, that's a good synopsis.
They're what, 3-2, 4-1? So let's wait until more teams get some film on you, and you got to play your second divisional games, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Good thought. Deshaun Watson continues to struggle and continues to get the heat. But what is it going to take for the Browns to make a change, Jim?
Bench. Deshaun Watson.
But what's it going to take for them to bench?
Ownership. Like, Kevin Stefanski was a 2-time coach of the year. Like, you could tell on that 4th down where Deshaun just walks off the field that, like, if it was at Stefanski's like control, it would have happened. It's not.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. There was like so much body language that told you that during that game, and if he was not making the money he was making, there's not a chance in hell he would still be a starting quarterback.
Like, it's not in his control.
Like, it literally
I
doesn't.
agree.
Here's my theory. It literally doesn't matter. You're going to be paying the same amount of money to him, whether he's playing or not. You're just either going to have a shitty quarterback in or someone who might have a chance to do something good. So you might as well just bench him and let him make his money. You're not going to get out of it. It doesn't matter if he's playing or not playing at this point because he's doing terrible.
I don't understand it. Like, I'm not a Browns fan. Let me preface this. I just hear the scuttlebutt. I don't understand how you can watch them play the way they've played, seeing the offensive production that they have, and go, you know what? We're going to keep doing what we're doing. I don't understand how you don't offer Flacco a contract. You don't even come to him with an offer.
Mm-hmm.
What? Like, it seems to me that ownership of this organization is grossly negligent. Like, it's just bad.
It is pretty bad. Obviously, without Nick Chubb, people aren't deflecting that blame, but are saying, well, what if? Some people.
I used to think the Charger ownership was shitty. No, this is worse.
They found their match.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of finding their match, the Jaguars get the matchup they need in their first win as they take down the Colts 37-34.
And
And
a
then-
very depleted Colts team.
Yeah, but then they said the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville in like a decade.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a bad situation for the Colts when they travel there to Duval.
But like Taylor wasn't playing. I don't think the quarterback, I can never remember his name, was playing.
Richardson.
Because
Neither one was
Flacco
there.
was playing.
Good job, Jaguars.
Doesn't look like the offense was the issue for the Colts though.
ETN banged up in this one. Might not start this week. Downer to my fantasy football team.
Like football team.
I mean, at this point, the way they play.
It's like football.
Actually,
I mean, Nate started off the NFL talking about how it was 7-on-7 in the Bucks Falcons game, and Jim's talking about his flag football team. I feel like we're one step away, boys. One step away. Next, the Texans beat the Bills 23-20 with a late field goal from Kaimi Fairbairn. Jim, how are we feeling about your Texans?
They win a lot of them by the skin of their teeth, don't they?
I know you're the fan. You tell
A
us.
question statement? I'm not
I'm
sure where
sorry.
you're going with that.
Tessa walked through the door. I apologize. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
I feel like they did, but they were playing the Bills. I mean, it's a good game. I mean, a win there is a win.
I think the biggest thing with this game is Diggs didn't have a touchdown. I was really gearing up for like the comeback, and it seems to me they shut him down in this one.
But the Texans get the win. So is he happy?
I don't think this man's ever happy.
Unless I mean, the rumor now is that he and Cardi B had a thing.
And I would be happy if I was him then.
That's the rumor.
I'm pretty sure I'd be very happy.
When she was 8 months pregnant.
I mean,
Is that at a Diddy party?
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. It's all alleged behavior with Stephon Diggs.
you can speculate about me, but not fucking Stephon Diggs. Get the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
out of here,
different.
Oh,
Muff.
speaking of speculation, since Tessa just came in the room, was she offering you a booster shot?
No booster shot for me.
She didn't offer you a urine sample, did she?
No,
Was she asking for a urine sample?
no. She needed a charger, a phone charger. Girl doesn't have a phone. I don't know what she's gonna do with it, but
Right now in the background,
Is that something you should be concerned about?
no, I give up. Whatever she wants to do, it's her world. I'm living in.
Maybe she's using the charger as a stethoscope.
Could be.
It's going to get plugged in somewhere nobody wants it to be.
She's gonna zap the shit out of somebody.
That's it.
Clear.
That's exactly what's about to
Cheers,
go down.
80.
Where's your dog? I think we need to
Right? Lucy's getting
Lucy's
fried.
guard Lucy, protect Lucy at all costs right now. For the Bills, Von Miller was suspended for 4 games for violating the personal conduct policy, as misrepresented by me in the betting show. I thought this was some PED situation. Indeed, it was not. It was a domestic situation. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong.
I was wrong.
Next, the Broncos take care of business against the Raiders, 30-18. No Devontae Adams for the Raiders. Lots of problems for the Raiders. A lot of discussion right now with Devontae Adams, Antonio Pierce, not even mentioning him by name, but only by number. And in this one, Bo Nix looked like a star.
Yeah. They didn't at first. The game opened up looking more in favor of the Raiders, but came around very quickly.
I'm pretty sure the coach talks to him like he's special. That's as nice as I can put it.
Who, Antonio Pierce?
No, Bo Nix.
Are you talking about Max Crosby
Yeah.
and his
His
in
clip?
the middle of the play where he said, "Bo, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah. But then like the coach afterwards in the press conference was like, sometimes you just gotta, drag him along.
There it is. But the Broncos do get the win. Also for Antonio Pierce, he received an 8-year show cause penalty from the NCAA for recruiting violations during the COVID-19 dead period while he was at Arizona State, including taking a prospect's parents to a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's a violation. That's just
That's just a fun time.
That's just showmanship.
Yeah, he took the parents there, not the prospect.
Yeah,
Sounds like the best buffet in town to me.
yeah. Saving the school money.
Oh,
8 years, Jim. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, compared to Harbaugh.
That's pretty significant. I feel like there's more that hasn't been released yet, and this is just like the juicy,
Well, it's not
juicy
stealing
headline.
signals, so it's okay. Or it's not okay. You steal signals, you get a pass.
Harbaugh never stole them. That was Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
Next, the Cardinals take care of the 49ers 24-23. Do we think it's time to hit any type of panic button in San Fran conditions that CMC continues to be out?
I think he's done for the year. I don't see a quick comeback on this one.
Yeah, panic button's a little much, but I think that there's like long-term panic button, no, but like, is this going to be their year? Probably not.
I think they're in that win now mode. So I think the panic button box has been open and the button is flashing red.
Okay. We have the nuclear launch codes ready to enter them.
Mm-hmm. Depending on what they do next week, if they lose again next week, I think they're going to hammer that button.
All right, Jim.
I
do
don't
you know-
see him making any drastic moves. You know what I mean? Like, oh, all right, let's tank.
Well, I don't think they have the cap space to go out and like get somebody. So,
Right.
I mean, because you go out and you pay Trent Williams, you pay Ayuk.
You're waiting. You got to get ready to pay Brock Purdy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fred Warner's out. Right. That's the linchpin to that defense. So that may impact them moving forward. I don't know. I agree with Nate
Moody
that
might be out.
say it again, sorry.
Jake Moody got hurt in this one.
I know, he's my kicker too. Some BS. How does the kicker get hurt?
Trying to make a tackle on a kickoff.
Yeah, dynamic kick off my ass. So I'm with Nate. I think the panic button is definitely flashing at this point, and if things do not go well over the next 3 weeks, I'm not saying they have to lose all three, but if they only win one of the next three, I think people are going to be hitting that button and ready to not end the season, but be really worried about where the season ends. Packers 24, Rams 19. Is Jordan Love back on track? And are the Packers true contenders again? Alex.
They look good. I don't. It's hard to. Yeah, as of right now, they are contenders.
Okay, Jim, how you feeling about the Packers?
I'm not going to go so far as to say they look good. They look sustainable.
Okay. Nate?
I don't think they're quite contenders yet.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys. I think we need another 2 or 3 weeks to see where they truly stand. But a win's a win. Romeo Dobbs was suspended for this game for conduct detrimental to the team.
You don't see that a lot in the NFL, so I wonder.
Well, I thought I saw
somebody.
that he missed like 2 team meetings or practice or something this week. Like he wasn't there like 2 days this week. They're like, what the heck?
Okay.
Well, that's speculation, Jim. We don't speculate on this show unless it's about you and Diddy parties. The Giants get a win against the Seahawks and Geno Smith 29-20.
So I want to make a fun comment, a fun connection here, since we're to this game. The Cardinals game ended on an an interception. That was Kaiser White, ex-Mountaineer. Turn around in the Seahawks game, not a minute later, like watching on Red Zone, like they went to finish this game, and the field goal was blocked at the end of this game, and Bryce Ford Wheaton picked it up and ran it all the way back for a touchdown. He was also a Mountaineer. He was not near wide receiver, and that was his like first touch of the ball in the NFL. Like he's been on special teams, but he hasn't. So exciting news in the Mountaineers in the NFL.
And Geno Smith takes the loss.
Yeah, Geno Smith lost, but we've been talking about him. Those were two other ones.
Okay. There are games when Daniel Jones looks like he may be worthy, maybe not of that full payday, but of a okay quarterback salary, and this is one of those games.
89s today.
Well, and he was doing it without Malik Neighbors this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of those games where we were like, oh yeah, Daniel Jones. This is why we, had faith in him and paid him some money. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes moving forward for the Giants. And in Sunday night football, we have weather's delays, Cowboy fans, a whole lot of flags, and a game that didn't end till 1 o'clock early Monday morning as the Cowboys take down the Steelers 20-17, scoring late on a 4th and goal to go ahead and secure the W. Alex, Monday discussions as we're recording on Monday. This drops on Tuesday. What were your thoughts about the Steelers, the Cowboys, and what this means moving forward for the Steelers?
So, full disclosure, I didn't watch it. I had all intention of it. I was ready to go. And then the rain delay happened, and I was sitting there and I'm fighting to sleep. And I'm like, if I stay up the extra 15 minutes to get to this 9:45 start, how much of this game am I actually going to stay awake for? So I allowed sleep to take me. But I watched a lot of highlights, unfortunately, this morning and then throughout the day today. And then it was on replay at the gym. And I think the big thing here is I'm actually a Justin Fields supporter. I'd like to see them keep him until he bucks bad, but I have a bad feeling that because he lost this game, that Russell Wilson's going to start as soon as he can. Where I think if we'd have won today, they would have not had a great excuse to swap him out. I always hate losing to the Cowboys. It sucks. There's no easy way around it. And that's about, and especially at the end of the game like that.
Yeah. I watched the entire fourth quarter. I will say I was in and out of sleep for
I was like,
much of
wait a
the game
second.
otherwise, and I came to in the fourth quarter and I got reinvested and watched till the end and wish that I would have continued to stay asleep because of the outcome, not because it wasn't an exciting finish, just because of the outcome. Uh, this is the start if things continue for the next 2 or 3 weeks like this for Justin Fields, where we are going to have Steelers Nation clamoring for Russell Wilson. Just enough little things that added up in this game. Justin Fields did do well to keep some plays alive with his legs, get some first downs. So that still continues to be there. But there were some throws that were just not like he had been in the first few weeks, missing some open receivers. So that's where Steeler Nation is going to be there. But the Cowboys put up crazy yards on the Steelers defense, and this was the Steelers defense did break and not just bend,
Yes.
especially on that 4th and goal. Although they had the opportunity to get a goal line stand and fumble on 2nd and goal, or third and goal with Elandon Roberts, but they couldn't pick up the fumble.
I thought that was 4th down.
4th down was when the Cowboys scored.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. So this 3rd down.
3rd down was whenever he went over the top and popped the ball out.
Yeah, and it popped out in Dak Prescott, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Dak saved the day! Oh, Dak! Oh,
Whatever. He jumped on the ball. Jim,
yeah,
Nate, any thoughts on the Cowboys, on the Steelers?
congrats."
No.
I think Steelers wise, with all the injuries that the Cowboys had on defense, I think you were probably hoping for more of an offensive show.
Mhm.
And then on the Cowboys side, you're probably thinking, okay, Pittsburgh's really struggling offensively to put up points and yards, and you think they're the world beaters, but you have to come back and win this game on the last play of the game, essentially. So I don't think Cowboys fans should be all too excited at the moment.
Jim?
I don't care about this. They underhit, and that's what matters.
There we go. Monday Night Football happening live as we record. Saints at Chiefs. What is the live looking, Nate?
7-0 Chiefs, thanks to a Kareem Hunt touchdown.
Anybody have Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown score tonight?
I did not have him.
Me either. Me either. That wraps up our discussion on the NFL, which brings us into college football week 6. Starting off with the Mountaineers of West Virginia beating Oklahoma State 38-14. Take it away, Alex. And don't forget to tell us about what your dad did.
Oh, good. Thank you. Not really what he did, but I liked his breakdown of Neil Brown. But so overall, good showing from the Mountaineers. I was in and out of watching it on, at not ideal conditions. So I was at Obi Fest with my family. We were watching it on my phone for a little bit. Um, and so I watched the first quarter and most of the third quarter, and then we were winning, so I just put it away and enjoyed the day. But from what I saw, looked good. Uh, we were talking about Neil Brown, and I was actually brought up the fact that Jim asked me, "Would you rather lose every game so that Neil Brown gets fired, or want to just keep winning?" And I was like, I have to say keep winning. Which then my dad went on a rant about Ohio sports fans and exactly what you always say about them, how the sky's always falling. He's like, because he lived in Columbus for a few years when he met my mom. And he's like, yeah, the Reds won the World Series the year I was there. And like, there were all these articles in the newspaper about all the stuff that the Reds have done wrong. And he's like, I just couldn't do it. Like, I don't understand. And I was like, yeah, I just think that's like the difference. Like, Mountaineer fans are just like, no, we want to still win as many games as we can. Like, it's just the nature of the program. But then he was like, Neil Brown is like like your dad with like really bad dementia or something. Like, I don't really want to get rid of him. I just want to like take his keys. And like, he can still think he drives and tells people he's driving, but like, give him to someone else. Like, let him be there.
But you
Just
guys did that with the other guy. What was his
Phil
name? The other.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked out okay for a little bit. I mean, it was just like that. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I just want to like. He's such a nice guy. He's like, I like him. He interviews well. He's like, I wish all the good things in the world for him as a person, but like, I just wish he did some things different. So I just want someone else to make the decisions. I was like, yeah, it's just like our grandma. She thinks she drives. She doesn't drive, but if you ask her, she drove yesterday. We just take the keys. And he's like, and if not, and if he does remember that he drives, he goes, then I feel bad because it has to be like that hard conversation with grandma where like, I don't mean to hurt you, but we have to take your keys. I was like, that's a great analogy.
All right.
Here we go. And Alex, as we've said, Alex and I will be at the Coal Rush game against Iowa State this upcoming weekend, Saturday primetime, Big 12 football. Moving on, Ohio State 35, Iowa 7. Jim.
Yeah, it happened. Glad to see some receivers getting in there, catching the ball. Some amazing Jeremiah Smith highlights. Was not thrilled with the first half, but the second half just lit it up. Defense showed up. Like a lot of the Columbus fan base, I mean, I was getting texts that like the offense is shutting the bed, which I mean, we forget that we were playing Iowa. Like it's a solid defense. Like, come on. Am I not as happy as I could have been? Yeah, that's probably true. But like Iowa, let's remember.
You covered.
Yep. So good game, solid game. Now it's time for the game that one of the two games that really matter. So let's go.
Ohio State traveling to Oregon this upcoming week. What's the game day game? Is it this?
Yep.
No, this is an NBC game, isn't it?
Yeah, college game days there though.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, I meant that. Where is game day?
Okay.
So
Yeah, game days at Eugene. I don't know where Fox Big Noon kickoff is though.
This is the Saturday, right? This is not the Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
wait, what is the Saturday?
Or
Something-
everything happens.
Something in Columbus?
No, I'm talking
Every
like
Saturday?
Big games
it's
this weekend.
all the big games happen this Saturday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Well, are they still all the big games?
I mean, I like to think so. Like you have Texas, Oklahoma,
Right.
Ohio State, Oregon.
Penn
I'm trying to look
State.
through it.
Yes.
Penn State,
Penn State,
USC.
USC,
Yeah.
Ole Miss, LSU. as much as I talk shit, WVU Iowa State is not a slouch game.
Well, in that conference now, especially. I mean,
I mean, they're
Mm.
number 11, Iowa State.
yeah.
Do I think that they deserve to be number 11? No, questionable.
We're about to get to a lot of teams that may not deserve what they get here in a
Right.
second. Penn State takes down UCLA 27-11 as loyal social media engager Sarah told me on Saturday. Penn State was dominant and the garbage time touchdown meant nothing. And this is coming from somebody who's an Ohio State fan, Jim. So I need you to keep that in your back pocket.
I didn't say a word, did I?
Just
He's
letting
not
you
the only
know.
person I've heard that from either, though. Like a lot of like sports people I listen to, like professionally, do made those comments. Like Penn State looked so dominant. It's just Penn State isn't like the go in and blow them out team. They're like the slow grind team. I was like,
Penn State was also, while he was dressed, Nick Singleton did not really get any playing time or any touches, but it's expected to play against USC. So I think that was just let's hold him out. There may be something there, so let's not re-aggravate or make this worse. Penn State's traveling to USC this upcoming week to take on the Trojans. That's all I got. Alex and I will be finding a place in Morgantown to watch this game. That's all I can tell you.
I'm interested to see this matchup for like a number of reasons. I want to see if that smash 'em style that Penn State brings translates to what USC has to offer. I want to see if USC can rebound.
Wrong sport, Jim.
Right. Like I
Jim's
I
like
don't
that.
think
Jim's like that referee.
I just don't think USC has it in them. I think that like Penn State puts their foot on their throat, and I think that's pretty much it.
Well, that's what I'm hoping I get to watch in Morgantown, West Virginia this Saturday. That's what I hope. So we don't have to worry about the second half and we can get ready to head into the stadium.
yep.
In top 25 action, we had an absolute massacre in the top 11 teams as 5 of them go down, starting with the big one, Vanderbilt taking down number 1 Alabama 40-35.
Yeah, that quarterback for Vanderbilt is. I'll put it this like my favorite quote of the weekend. They asked the coach like, "Can you control him?" And he was like, "I don't think I can. I don't think I can." He was insane after that game. He dropped F-bombs on the mic.
Yep.
He was running all over the field. 70 of his family members were in the crowd. He was electricity.
Well, people were judging him because I guess he was like, first of all, glory to God. And he's like, yeah, we fucking won. And
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
people were
I'm
like,
pretty sure I would have said the same thing.
yeah, they were like, let him live.
He was lights out. So I liked him a lot.
He transferred in this year, correct?
He did.
Yes.
From I forget where
San Diego State.
That's
I
right. You're
wanna
right.
say.
Yes, you're right. San Diego State. I knew if I heard it, I'd remember where he came from. So, yeah, but I mean, NIL was a positive for Vanderbilt in this situation with their starting quarterback. Then we had post game the journey of the goalposts.
Well, we had the bum rush of the field that was probably, and I'm going to get into it in my winners and losers, but probably the most dangerous bum rush of the field and the sketchiest. Like, there's only one
let's
set
be
of
honest,
stairs.
Field isn't exactly like
Correct.
yet.
Correct. They're building the stadium. They decide to tear it down. Let's just get to that. But they one set of stands for the student section, and the initial rush, I was like, somebody's gonna get crushed. And then when they funneled into the stands, it wasn't fast enough for some people, so they started jumping off the rail. Which parts of it was like, oh, okay, that's a tiny jump. But as you moved up, it got higher. And at one point, a guy's hanging off the rail, going, I don't know. And he's stuck there. And then he lets go, and it's like, oh, he broke his ankle. And he like gets up and like hops and wiggles, and he kind of like tries to walk it off, but he definitely did something to that ankle. And then there was chicks doing it, doing the same, like, you might break something, sweetie. It was sketchy. Big sketchy.
Big stuff.
And then when they moved to the goalpost, it was like a wave of humans.
It was sweet,
It was the best thing I've seen in a long time.
especially going down Broadway.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Before that, Vanderbilt was fined $100,000 for storming the field. Nate, I think you found this tidbit about the goalposts and other
Yes.
items.
So after they threw the goalpost in the river, they retrieved said goalpost from the river, and they are currently cutting it up, and they're going to be auctioning off pieces of the goalpost. You can either buy a 4-inch or an 8-inch piece of the goalpost.
Guarantee that thing sells out.
And they are also selling game-used footballs from the game
Sells
and
out.
and some other things. Like I think that some of them were like pylons and other
Yep.
stuff.
That's the first time they'd beaten
And then they're going to use it for NIL money if they're smart.
or pay off the fine.
That's true.
Well, here's my thing. It's like, okay, you got your goalpost back and then you decided to cut it up. Like, I didn't realize it was so easy to get a new goalpost.
They probably got big TV ratings out of that. They're getting it cut off.
SEC Network got a little piece out of that.
But that's the first time they had beaten somebody in the top 5 ever.
Mhm.
They broke a 32-game losing streak to Alabama.
Yep.
Like, good on them. That's why you rush a field.
This is
Yeah, that I have zero problem with that. Field
Hint,
rushing.
hint, following teams.
and another upset. Arkansas, the Razorbacks, woo pig suey, took down number 4 Tennessee 19-14.
Not a bad reason to rush the field. Tennessee
Would-
played like shit.
If Ohio State beats Michigan this year, does Ohio State rush the field? Wait, is it at Ohio State this year?
It is Ohio State.
No, they'll never rush the field.
That's not true.
If they beat Michigan,
That's absolutely not true.
I felt like that would be the standard. So why would you rush the field?
Hmm. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Arkansas was fined $250,000 for storming the field. I'm not
I
sure
think
the
that
difference
fine
in
is way
fines.
too high.
Not
Well,
sure the
I
difference in-
I saw that. I'm like, why the heck did Arkansas get fined $250 and Vanderbilt got fined $100,000? They said, oh, it's because this is the second offense for Arkansas.
the escalator.
Yeah.
Not that
Okay.
escalator in
I
there.
would have said because it was more warranted in the Vanderbilt game. So
Okay.
Yes.
Next in the top 25 matchup, Texas A&M takes down Missouri at number 9, 41-10.
That was an ass whooping.
Yeah, Missouri wasn't even themselves.
they looked bad. I
Bad.
watched the first half of this game, and it was ugly.
Yeah, that's the best way to put that.
I mean, there were people. I was one of them to some degree, but there were people who were even more harsh on that what they thought about Missouri being frauds than I was, and this just empowered those people to continue on their rants.
It was. There's no excuse for the way they played. That was horrible.
No good. We'll see if they can bounce back in SEC play. And next, we had Washington taking on number 10 Michigan, 27-17.
I am a fan when Michigan loses. We all know that. Washington, you should have stayed your asses in the stands. I get it. You saw the buzz. It looked like a fun thing to do.
Well, and I think it has to do with it being a rematch.
I understand. I get it. Stay the fuck in the stands. You didn't even do it like you looked like you were just there. There was no hype. There was no like hoopla. Y'all rushed to the 50 and stood there like morons. There was no bouncing. There was no jubilation. You're just like, all right, we're here. Like, it was stupid.
Okay, so my question goes back to that you didn't answer. Ohio State
Yeah,
beats
here we go.
Michigan this year. Do you rush the field?
Yes.
How is that fair?
In what regard?
So Washington was favored to beat Michigan, but not by much. Ohio State will be way bigger favorites in this game,
Yep.
and they get to rush the field, but Washington doesn't,
Yes.
even though it was a rematch of the national title game
Mm-hmm.
against a quote unquote number 10 Michigan team,
Yes.
just because of the rivalry factor.
Yes. And the cheating scandal.
What you said that didn't impact last year's outcome, Jim.
I said I did not. What did I say did not impact? Did it not impact their hearts, their anger, their outrage?
You said it wouldn't have mattered. You said they still would have won the national championship.
I said that.
Yes.
That does not negate their feelings. My feelings do not rob the masses' feelings of their moment.
Their moment to celebrate a win over a team that they're going to be 10+ point favorites for.
Oh, they're going to dance on that grave.
Sounds like you'd rather that happen than do this at Oklahoma with what Baker Mayfield did.
I don't want it to happen at all. I want to be a classy program. Do I know that it's going to? And do I know the reasoning? Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And the last upset in the top teams this week, Minnesota takes out USC and rows that boat 24-17 over the 11th ranked Trojans.
They played well, real well. Impressed with Minnesota here.
We're impressed for now.
Did anybody see the Minnesota player that got the unsportsmanlike conduct for brandishing a weapon?
No, I did not. What did he do?
He pulled his jersey up to show like he had a gun on his hip or something.
Oh, like mimicked that action okay. No, I did not see that.
But yeah, he got 15-yard UNS.
It's stupid.
I know it happened in the South Carolina game where somebody took shots at what's his face? The quarterback on the ground was like, pew, pew, pew.
Well, it's funny you say that because at the West Liberty game on Saturday, going into halftime, one of the West Lib players was simulating gunshots going around like bang, bang, like whatever. And the buddy that I was there to see, he just tossed his flag so far to get that kid. It was like a 40-yard toss or whatever. And he even put it in the penalty summary that he has to turn into the NCAA. Personal foul, unnecessary, or personal foul and sportsmanlike taunting, gunshots.
Do you have to do that as an end game report?
Yeah, I mean, you have to put like what category. Like even if you have, for example, like an offensive hold, you have to put it in what category it falls under.
Okay, the justification as to why it was worthy
Like,
of the flag.
So basically, like is it grab and restrict? Did he hook and turn him? Things like that.
Okay,
because that's how you get graded on your film.
Right. All right. Another top 25 action. Number 5, Georgia takes out Auburn 31-13.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just came back to punch somebody.
Yep. Number 6, Oregon in the warm-up match against Michigan State wins 31-10. Ready for the Buckeyes this week.
I'm pretty sure Michigan's late scores were garbage time. Pretty sure that was the same strategy that Ohio State had. Like, I've been asked, like, what do you think? I'm pretty sure they played Michigan State the same way. There was no tell from this game.
Got it. Number 8, Miami survives against Cal 39-38 after being down big in this one.
I was gonna say that was a surprise for me to wake up and see.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought Cal had this one.
Indeed. The Miami equipment truck and its travels was chronicled throughout the week as they drove from Florida all the way to Cal Berkeley.
Well, now that you mentioned equipment trucks, do you see Tennessee's truck like totaled itself after the game? Just destroyed itself. And Tennessee's like got that real colorful, it's Tennessee's truck, and it just done blowed itself up.
Explain what happened.
I think the guy fell asleep at the wheel and just wrecked the shit out of that truck.
Okay.
Bad news.
Let's hope he's okay.
Right.
Number 12, Ole Miss beats South Carolina 27-3. A little bit of a rebound game, Jim.
Boom. We'll take it.
Clemson beats Florida State 29-13. And DJ Uyunglele not playing in this game and will be out for the next few weeks because of a broken finger. Is that correct?
I believe so. Good for Florida State. They're talking about he might
Just
get a
gonna say
medical
that
red
might
shirt.
help.
He might get a medical red shirt out of the deal. Yeah,
I-
they're talking
I-
about sitting him.
I saw one of the banners hanging from like one of the frats or whatever that said, "Clemson, please take your quarterback back."
That's pretty funny. Iowa State beats Baylor 43-21.
Good win.
It happened.
Yeah.
Boise State at number 21 takes out Utah State 62-30. And this wasn't even me. Ashton Genty for Heisman.
That dude is legit.
Legit. Glad everybody's catching up with me now. I've been talking about him for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I saw all the numbers and I'm like, they really haven't played that great of a competition. And like, there was no other game on. And my mom was like, "Really? You're gonna put that game on that Smurf turf?" I go, "Yeah, I want to see this dude play." And like, first carry he gets, he breaks like 4 tackles and goes 75 yards to the house. I mean, his numbers right now are just more than video game like.
Yeah, he's on pace for like 2,500 yards, I think.
Yeah, and he already has like, I think, over a dozen touchdowns.
Yeah.
But do you
So-
think he'll get the Heisman if
He'll
he's
get
not
some-
in the playoffs?
I mean,
If
he'll
he
get
keeps
some
these
hype.
numbers up, I mean, it's going to be hard to say no.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to keep him away from the ceremony. I'm not gonna say he's gonna
I
win.
mean, he still might make the playoffs. He's 4-1 with a very, very easy schedule. If he can get past UNLV, like that's the next test for
Mhm.
Boise State. Other than that, it's a cakewalk.
22 Louisville loses to SMU 34-27.
SMU had it handled most of the way, from what I remember.
I just like seeing Louisville losses that hurts Notre Dame.
Yeah,
There you go. Indiana stays undefeated, taking out Northwestern 41-24.
also another one that had it handled most of the way.
Yep. In the last game, this was Thursday or Friday night football. UNLV loses after they get ranked to Syracuse 44-41 in overtime.
It's a game of zero defense.
Indeed, it
Watched
was-
this game. I was very upset. UNLV, like you can't stop him.
Can't stop comic word.
It's ridiculous.
It is indeed ridiculous. The new AP poll came out.
Yep.
Texas
Yep.
at number 1, Ohio State number 2, Oregon 3, Penn State 4, Georgia 5, Miami 6, Bama 7, Tennessee 8, Ole Miss 9, Clemson 10.
I agree with it.
At this point,
Love it.
that's what it is.
It's good
The-
stuff's what it is,
The
Muff.
top 10 doesn't matter right now. It
It's
will
great.
matter. It will matter in 5 or 6 weeks. It's great.
Good stuff.
Why are you so adamant about saying it's good?
You know who's not number 1?
Ohio State.
That's right. That's what matters.
Well,
I think it's
after
a
this
reverse psychology thing.
week, Jim, it may change.
As long as we're not going into this game.
Okay. Do you want that target on your back?
No.
So do you think that if Texas blows out Oklahoma and Ohio State wins, that they flop?
Say that one more time.
Texas blows out Oklahoma and Ohio State wins, do they flop?
No.
I think the standard is that they will. I mean, Alabama leapfrogged everybody when they beat Georgia.
But I feel like if Texas beats it,
What's
that's why I say
Oklahoma
if
ranked right
Texas.
now?
That's why I say Texas blows out Oklahoma.
But what's
just don't-
Oklahoma ranked this week?
Are they?
I think they're top 20. I don't think they should be, but
Well, I think Quinn Ewers is back this week too, isn't he?
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We will see. We will see what happens after this week's games. Games next week: Ohio State at Oregon. We've already talked about Penn State at USC, Ole Miss at LSU, and Texas versus Oklahoma. Is this at a neutral site?
Yeah, I think it's at Jerry World.
Okay. What's this
They
game?
usually play it at like the Cotton Bowl or something. It's
Yeah.
always been a neutral site somewhere in Texas.
So we got
Can we talk about for a storyline that's not been talked about? I saw it on a podcast. Army, Navy, both undefeated, both play Notre Dame. They could hypothetically beat Notre Dame, go for the American championship. One of them wins, and then have to run it back the next week in the Army Navy game.
correct.
And
And then
what I believe is an exhibition.
I think it still counts towards their records.
So then it's 13-1. They'll both be 13-1.
And
So
they could
technically,
both,
Army could win, the Navy could win, and then what do we do?
then they
Put
both
them in the
potentially make the playoff. Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've been waiting. I didn't want to talk about that too early.
How awesome would that be?
That would be pretty sweet. But I don't want to put the jinx on it. We still got time.
I probably
Still
did
got
that.
time.
You're right.
You're not the only one talking about it, so I won't put any blame on you, Jim, if it makes you feel any better about it. All right, let's get into our winners and losers of the week. I have no idea who we start with this week. Let's start with Nate.
For me, my winner of the week are college football fans. Can't remember who shared the post, but there is at least one college or NFL game on every night of the week until November 27th. So hooray us. And losers are the Heisman frontrunners other than Boise State's Ashton Genty.
I like it.
Indeed.
It's fair.
Liking that. Jim.
My winner, Minnesota. Thought they played really well against USC. I'm impressed with them. My losers, Washington fan base. Because you bum rushed the field, and I don't think that was deserved.
So are they losers for how they bum rush the field or that they bum rush the field?
Both.
Okay. Alex.
I will say that my winners of the week are anyone who is like haters of teams. So Michigan, Alabama, Tennessee, USC. I feel like people have strong opinions towards those fan bases, and they all had good weeks. I saw a bunch of people not talking about teams that won this week, but talking more about teams that lose. That was the vibe I got out in public.
Yep.
Also, obviously the winners, the easy take is the underdogs that beat them. Vandy and their goalpost. People that have enough money and can buy a piece of Vandy's goalpost. The losers, kind of the SEC this week. I mean, Tennessee took an L, Alabama took an L, which I get it. It was like interconference beating up on each other, but at the same time, some of your big dogs are falling, and you're gonna have a lot of and one teams, and not all of them are gonna make it to the playoffs. So there's gonna be some disappointed fan bases come playoff times because they're gonna have to choose who's the best of that clump. There isn't your typical Bama, Georgia, everybody else. It's kind of everybody else all together, including Bama, Georgia this year. So I think the loser is maybe a pre-loser, but some of those fan bases.
All right. And my winners and losers this week. My winner, I'm going to call the Jimmy V Foundation the winners of the week for the teams that just survived and advanced. Just like Jimmy V told him to do, survive in advance, get to the playoff. And my losers are Snoop Dogg and NBC because USC lost. Not saying that Penn State USC would have been a game day game, but it may have had a little bit more hype if both teams were coming in the top 10. And Snoop Dogg, just because he's attached to NBC, he's attached to everything they do. He was even at the Steeler game on Sunday night, waving a terrible towel, doing his thing. Although he is a stated Pittsburgh fan, he's also obviously a very huge USC fan. So Snoop Dogg and NBC are my losers.
He was pretty funny though, watching him just hop around the field. He just as my pap would refer to him as Long Daddy, was cracking me up a little bit in some of the reels. He can't ever remember his name. He just knows he's long, and he thinks his name has something to do with Daddy, so he calls him Long Daddy all the time.
It's awkward.
What?
Long daddy.
Long Daddy. He is a long guy. I mean, like, I get it.
Elon Musk was there waving a terrible towel.
I'd rather Snoop Dogg, if I'm being honest.
All right.
Don't want to touch that, Jim.
Nope.
Okay, other interesting news in sports.
Interesting news in sports.
Also in the college football world, Gonzaga is expected to be announced on today, Tuesday, as a member in all sports for the Pac-12. But let's not forget that Gonzaga does not have a football team
Yet.
I think that is the key term there. I agree, Nate. In related news, FCS Sacramento State raised $35 million in NIL and are also trying to make a case to join the Pac-12. Who's the alumni that Sacramento State's using?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't even feel like a team that should jump up to the D1 level like that.
Yeah, if they can put together that money that quick, maybe they are, Nate. We just don't realize it.
I mean, you're in the right part of the country for money, I guess.
Yeah, you are. In the fight game in the UFC, Alex Pereira retains his light heavyweight title with a technical knockout of Khalil Roundtree Jr. after just destroying this man's face.
Did you guys see the post I shared on the Instagram group?
I did.
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
I don't know how that guy made it out of the ring.
Not good.
Probably
I
with
feel like that's what Chad Ochocinco is going to look like here.
he had some help.
What, Alex?
Yeah, I was kidding. I said probably with a lot of help, but then I went, he had some help. Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
All right. Moving along to the WNBA. The New York Liberty have already made their way into the finals, taking out the defending champs, the two-time defending champs, the Las Vegas Aces, with a matchup against either the Connecticut Sun or the Minnesota Lynx, who are playing a game 5. When is that? Today? Tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
It is Tuesday?
Tomorrow's and Tuesday, yes.
Okay. So it is on Tuesday, with the finals set to begin Thursday night at the Barclays Center. And that's your WNBA update. Moving along to Major League Baseball. Sad day this past week in Major League Baseball as Pete Rose has passed away.
Big sad. Big sad.
Big
Dude should be in
sad.
the hall.
Say it again, Nate.
Dude should be in the hall.
And he won't let him induct him post after he
Well,
dies.
No, he had a lifetime. They weren't going to ever let him in.
But he said, like, I don't want to go in after I die. So,
Either let me in now or don't let me in ever.
yep.
Okay.
Forever hold your peace.
He's at peace with everything at this point. Paul Skeens named Rookie of the Year. No
Rightfully
surprises.
so.
Yeah, rightfully so. He deserves some kind of recognition since his team couldn't win the games for him. We at least needed something to show he was good.
Yeah. And in the MLB playoffs, we have the Mets tied with the Phillies 1-1.
Correct.
In the Mets' previous series, Pete Alonso became the first player. And this is a baseball stat. This is, if there's ever a baseball stat, this was it. Pete Alonso became the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit a go-ahead home run while trailing in the 9th inning of a winner-take-all postseason game when the Mets moved on with their win over the Brewers last Thursday.
Wait, so he was the first person to ever hit a game-winning? No, just to go ahead because it wasn't a game-win.
It was game-winning.
But
they were the visitors in this game.
yeah, so they were batting first.
Mm-hmm.
but it was to hit a go-ahead home run while trailing
But
in the
that
ninth
was
inning of
crazy
a
that he was the first one in history in the ninth inning. Like I feel like that's happened before in a postseason game. There's been
Not until now.
not until now, Alex. Not
interesting.
until
That just
now.
seems like something that would have happened many a time.
It was not. Padres Dodgers tied at 1.
Correct.
Tigers Guardians.
Also tied at 1 at the time I put that in the notes. It was nothing in the eighth. And dude, the Tigers hit a go-ahead 3-run homer on the top of the ninth.
There you go. Breaking records left and right.
There we go. And the Royals and the Yankees. Yankees up 1-0. Game 2 happening now.
Yeah, and I'll get you an update real quick here. It is currently 4-1 Royals in the 6th.
The Royals.
So that one looks like it may be tied up 1-1 as well. We have a lot of 1-1 series and competitive series happening.
Baseball, Jim, baseball.
We good? We got that over with. I
All
kinda
right,
just
Jim,
tuned
go
it
ahead,
out.
buddy. Go ahead.
The Kraken will be playing tonight, if you're listening to this podcast, against St. Louis. Do we know what the puck drops date?
4:30.
Oh, rat shit.
But it's on ESPN.
This is in Columbus, right, Jim?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Seattle. It's in Seattle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just said it was at St. Louis, and I was like, oh. Make a trip, Jim.
What would that be in our time then?
No, it's 4:30 Eastern,
Our time.
Oh, okay.
and it's on ESPN.
I'm gonna have to stream this at work,
Shh, don't tell corporate.
right?
This is opening week in the NHL. The Pens open up at home on Wednesday against the Rangers.
Go
Started-
Pens.
Man, it is 4:30. Well, I'll record it. It's what I'll do. I got the YouTube
Say, why don't you
TV.
just record it and then just fast forward through the commercials till you're caught up?
Yeah, buddy.
Or you can just watch the first period at work and then hurry up and get home to catch the second period.
That's true. I swear, corporate, I will be recording it.
You won't be, you mean?
I will be
Oh, never
recording
mind.
it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I
All right.
need to know more about it.
Jim will be recording it so he can watch it at a later date and time.
Yes.
Bingo. NASCAR.
So I don't have you can pry a little bit and I can give you a little bit of explanation, but essentially Michael Jordan is suing NASCAR.
When I read Jordan, I thought you meant your wife.
That would be awesome.
Just to clarify, that's why I was like, what happened?
So
Like,
Michael
how did we
Jordan,
get here?
Michael Jordan is suing NASCAR under some antitrust laws, claiming that Bill France, the family that basically owns NASCAR, is making it unfair for owners to compete and be profitable, basically busting the ownership systems or trying to bust the ownership systems inside of NASCAR. And it is like, I understand, oh, it's NASCAR and we're not NASCAR fans, but from a sports legislative thing, it's very interesting. I can't explain it all to you. Like, this would be an entire podcast and I want to take up the whole night. But in the lawsuit, he calls the France family and NASCAR monopolistic bullies.
Yes.
So I said that right. I'm proud of myself. But basically, he's saying they hold the purse strings to everything,
Yep.
and it's impossible for everybody else to make a profit.
Yeah, there's another ownership group involved with this as well. I forget which one.
Yes. Yeah, and I was trying to look through it too.
I don't remember what it is. I knew there were multiple ownership groups.
I know it's his racing team and Front Row Motorsports are the two, but like essentially what happened, like the gist of it is NASCAR came down, I don't know if it's a year ago or 6 months ago, and was like, hey, team owners, sign this or lose out on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like they said, oh, shit, we don't want to lose, because a charter, an ownership charter is worth like millions of dollars. And they were like, hey, if you don't sign this, your charter's worth dog shit. And they were like, well, we don't want to lose millions of dollars. Jordan was the one who was like, no, I'll let this ride, and then I'll sue you. And it's wild. So follow it, listeners. Follow it, like read it if you want other people, but like it's cool.
It is of interest. I agree. It's definitely a current event of note,
Yeah.
especially in the sports world. And in the NBA, Dikembe Mutombo has passed away. Who's the third athlete that was going to go, Jim?
I think somebody did.
Oh, this has already happened.
I
Oh
think
my
it
gosh, this is
happened.
when we're starting over.
Yeah. I know celebrity wise, Chris Christopherson went, but I
Right.
think we got our three. I don't know who the third was, but I think it happened.
But could we go Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose, and then you said you think it was a third one?
Yeah. I'm searching it now.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, let's hopefully get to the end here. We're going to finish this off just like we started it, talking about a Diddy party. As LeBron says that
Not okay.
that he prefers not to speak on this matter until I know how much information becomes public knowledge when asked about attending Diddy party freak-offs. Say that's a
Not
totally
okay.
alleged quote. I don't know. I saw this. I think I confirmed it, but
I think I confirmed it. That's good journalism. I think this is right.
pretty sure I found it a couple different spots and I felt okay about saying this.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this as we started it, talking about a Diddy party, which means you know what you can do to make sure you subscribe with our content at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram, Twitter, or Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure that you do all those action verbs, get the bell on, as Jim said, and make sure that we keep going up, 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 and away. And to do that, you have to tell a friend, make a friend, be a friend.